Kobe Bryant, to me and to most Lakers fans, is the most disrespected NBA player in the GOAT conversation. Why? He had put numbers that compare to Jordan, that compare to Will Chamberlain, and that compare to anyone in the GOAT conversation. But he always have been voted out as a generational player. Instead of him, Tim Duncan, really? And I'm gonna explain here why that is so wrong. In 3, 2, 1. This is PERSPECTIVLOG X, and I am your host, E.A. Crespo. PERSPECTIVLOG X Lakers Fandom. Before we start, let's hit the subscribe button. Let's hit the like button for this video. And after that, please share it with everyone you know. Let's start. For many people who think that Kobe Bryant should not be in the GOAT conversation, here are some facts and records for you. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna read some of his stats, then I'm gonna show you the ones that are records of Kobe, and then I'm gonna let you know some of the objections and my objections to the objections. Let's start with some stats. 2008 NBA Most Valuable Player, 2 times NBA Finals MVP, 18 times NBA All-Star, 4 times All-Star MVP, 11 times All-NBA First Team, 2 times All-NBA Second Team, 2 times All-NBA Third Team, 9 times NBA All-Defensive Team, 3 times All-Defensive Second Team, 2 times NBA Scoring Champion, 1997 Dunk Contest Champion, and Naismith Prep Player of the Year, First Team Parade All-American in 1996. He's the youngest player in the NBA to start in a game with 18 years old. He's the youngest player to be featured in an All-Star game. He's been an MVP 4 times in an All-Star game. With 81 points in a single game, he not only became the second player in the list behind Will Chamberlain, but he is the record holder for guards, not Jordan. He's also the highest scoring guard in the history of the NBA for life, with 33,643 points. And he's the 4th player overall in that list because LeBron this year passed him. He's the highest scoring guard when it comes to free throws. 8,378 free throws. Only 4 players have been 15 times All-NBA team. LeBron, Tim Duncan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Kobe Bryant. He also has a record of 9 times in the All-Defensive team, also shared with 3 other players, but these players are not the same names that you saw in the other one. These are Michael Jordan, Gary Payton, and Kevin Garnett. He also became the youngest player to pass the mark of 33,000 points. And a little bit after, he became the oldest player to score 60 points in a game. We're talking about his retiring game. He's the only guard that has been 18 times in the All-Stars. And the only player who has one more than him is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's been 19 times in an All-Star. Everybody else is less. 15, 14 like LeBron. Maybe LeBron will get there. Who knows? But as you start seeing, there are reasons why we Laker fans consider that Kobe Bryant should be in the GOAT conversation. Let's start with the objection that says that Kobe Bryant was carried the first 3 times he won a championship. I'll get into this a little bit later, but remember, he won 5 championships. He went 7 times to the finals. But the 5 championships, he didn't win them with the same team. And the last 2, to me, legitimize everything that he did on the first 3. But let's start with the first 3. 2000. That's the only season that favored Shaq statistically during the season. Shaq averaged 29 points per game. Kobe averaged 22 points per game. While Shaq dominated the finals, it was Kobe who saved the Lakers in a few different times during those playoffs. In fact, in Game 7 of the Western Conference, Kobe had 25 points per game, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists with 4 blocks. Shaq, 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. My point is Kobe was carrying that game. Game 7 of the Western Finals. On Game 4 of those finals, Shaq fouled out and Kobe took over and gave a victory to the Lakers by hitting every clutch shot in overtime. 2001, Shaq was also MVP in the finals. But in the playoffs, Kobe was king. All across the playoffs, Kobe scored 29 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, and 6 assists per game. Against the Kings, Kobe scored 35 points per game. Against the Spurs, he scored 33 points per game. And against the Kings, he had 48 points in one game. And against the Spurs, he had 49 in one game. That was the second championship. So if you want to make the case for the first one, it's difficult because he had 2 pivotal parts in taking the Lakers to the playoffs. But on the second championship, he had a much pivotal. He was pretty much the guy behind the victories of every series in 2001. And in fact, in 2003, he led the Lakers in 2 of the 3 series to get to the finals. So I'm not saying that he would have won those championships without Shaq. I'm just saying he was a carry. The second one is that Kobe wasn't as athletic as, because his vertical wasn't 48 like Jordan, it was more like 38. LeBron is 40 or 42 according to different people, and Will Chamberlain is between 46 to 50. Nobody knows exactly. Look, That argument is actually in favor of Kobe, because that means that he have to be better, trained. He have to be better at choosing the moment to leap into a dunk. He have to be better in faking, in floor awareness, in basketball IQ. He had to be a better student of the game, because even though he had this disadvantage, he still did win 5 championships. He went 7 times to the finals between 2000 and 2010, which some people want to make it the Tim Duncan era. Tim Duncan didn't go that far all the time. He won championships, but he didn't go to the final that many times, because they are both on the West, and if Kobe went to the final 7 times out of 10, it doesn't, it doesn't add up. So Kobe is the face of the 2000s and not Tim Duncan. But if he did that, he won 7 times in 10 years. He won 5 of those 7 times. And he went with different teams, because while the uniform was the Lakers, one of the first 3 championships were with him with Shaq. The other one, he went with Paul Gasol, was his co-star. And Paul Gasol might not even become a Hall of Famer. As much as I like his game and I appreciate what he's done for the Lakers, he doesn't have strong numbers for it. Jordan always had Scottie Pippen. LeBron had superstars also when he became a champion. Tim Duncan had Manu Ginobili, and he had Tony Parker all the time. And I don't remember if David Robinson was for, all of those Spurs championships. But Kobe Bryant didn't have that. So that can't be an argument against him. That have to be an argument in favor of him. But if you don't agree with me, comment. I'm gonna have some links here, and also I'm gonna have some links down in the description, so you can see more opinions about these stats about Kobe Bryant. Alright? So, go Lakers.